28th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Jet Home Loans. And now, Pete Prisco's youthful ward and faithful sidekick, J.P. Shadrick.
And welcome in. It is Jaguars Happy Hour, Monday, August 28th. And plenty to get to on the program today after preseason week 3, Saturday night. The Jaguars over the Dolphins, 31-18. We'll recap the starters' performance. They played pretty well on offense, certainly. We'll take a look at the roster cut coming by 4 o'clock Tuesday. That's the deadline for all NFL teams to be to 53 players. We'll keep it real as we always do. And yes, your Fanatics fan questions coming up. We'll hear plenty from Doug Peterson. Jaguars head coach spoke today with the media as they begin the wave of cuts today. And I would guess they'll get most of them done today. We're on 1010XL, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco joining us as they do each and every Monday. Good afternoon, Pete. How are you?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good, Petey. How you doing?
Tony's in studio with me today.
Yeah, I'm in.
Preseason is over, thankfully.
Oh gosh, was that just the worst?
It's awful. It gets worse by the year, doesn't it?
I mean, Pete, it's one of those things that it didn't used to bother me as much as it does now. Like
me either.
Like from the start of. Like, training camp starts, I'm like, okay, looking forward to the preseason. Like, 2 seconds into preseason game 1, I'm like, I'm done. Can we get to regular season football?
How the hell can you evaluate anybody based on that? You can't.
Oh, I think you can a little bit. I do.
No, but I mean, I'm talking about like scheme-wise.
No.
There's none of that.
No, it's individual players. That preseason's set up to look at individuals and how they perform in certain situations. I mean, the offenses are so vanilla. I mean, defenses are vanilla. Very little blitzing, base coverages.
And you're running plays in certain
Miami
situations you wouldn't
night,
in a regular year.
What'd you say, Pete?
Miami blitzed a little bit the other
Yeah,
night.
a little bit, but not much.
No, it's basic, and that's why it makes it like for all these young quarterbacks. Everybody, he looked good when he was out there. He's not seeing anything. They're not doing anything to him. How the heck can you tell?
Well, we play one opening day, Pete. 2 weeks
right.
from yesterday.
Get ready.
We play Anthony Richardson. I think it's Shane Steichen's a really, and we'll talk about more about this next week, but just since you brought it up, Pete, Shane Steichen's a really good offensive coach. I don't know if people realize this, but remember everyone was so excited about Justin Herbert, his rookie year? Guess who the coordinator was and was responsible for that growth? Shane Steichen. Remember everyone said how great Philly, Jalen Hurts was last year, and the progress he made. Guess who the offensive coordinator was? Shane Steichen. The guy is a quarterback whisperer. And you talk to guys who coach with him, he is really good. And so it'll be interesting, Pete, because week 1, they have all this time to prepare for it. You know they're going to throw a bunch of interesting concepts, some RPOs, like –
yeah, but Tony, don't you think it's an advantage to play him in week 1 than play him in week 5?
I think it's
because you have time to prepare for that offense a little bit. It's got to be prepared for all that stuff.
But Pete, I don't think you're going to know what the offense is.
Yeah,
fully.
Yeah, it's RPOs and stuff.
No, I know that, but you're not going to know exactly what how they're thinking about it. I think week 2 would be the best time to play them because now you have a week of tape.
Yeah, but I think you're
real
condensed in how you can prepare for him. All you got to do is go by what you think. The quarterback is like Jalen Hurts. He runs around. He moves around. They're going to move around. So go back and use the Eagles tape.
I agree. You watch a lot of Eagles tape this week if you're Caldwell. Mike Caldwell watch a lot of Eagles tape because that's who Shane Steichen is. And I think
kid can run too, by the way. You better not come rushing up the field all the time, and you better keep him contained in there because he gets outside. That's a big physical.
I was going to say,
and no arm tackles either.
And he's not a small fella.
No.
You know who it reminds me of a little bit, Pete? Who does it remind you of that when I played that we always struggled with?
McNair.
Steve McNair. I think
he's even bigger than McNair.
Well, I think he's probably more athletic than McNair because McNair was a true drop back pocket quarterback.
Right.
But he was so thick that if you didn't really wrap him up, he'd break it and start scrambling around and making.
Yeah, McNair's thicker, not as tall.
That's right.
This kid's big, taller, and not as thick, but he's still a big, giant kid.
Well, he's like 255, and he's more athletic.
Yeah.
He's like a tight end back there playing quarterback.
It's unbelievable.
But you make him. I'm a big believer in you just make him play quarterback. You know, the first year guys, the first couple games, you make them stand in there as best you can, keep them in there, make them play quarterback, and they're going to make mistakes. I mean, he made a ton of mistakes in Florida. He's got talent, and you know, Denny Thompson, who lives in Jacksonville, actually works with him. Mm-hmm. Denny's done a good job with him mechanically and getting him better. But there are going to be a ton of mistakes. He's a rookie quarterback. It's going to happen. So I think that's a big advantage for them.
You talking about Denny, the quarterback whisperer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denny
you know
is.
Denny?
I coached with Denny a long time ago when
Where?
He was the offensive coordinator at Providence.
Was that who you were yelling out on the sideline the game I went to? You like ripped your headset off. It might have been.
Maybe.
You might have been ripping him.
Yeah. Denny was Denny was his dad was on the staff. I was offensive line coach. Denny, I mean, if you would have told me back then that Denny would be the quarterback whisperer and training all these NFL guys, I'd been like, really? Now, he was talented back there. He knew what he was talking about, but he was just a high school coach at Providence. And he give him credit. He's done a good job of promoting it.
Hey, Tony,
himself.
Got a good roster too.
It's just remember that that as much as anybody.
Pete,
football.
That's what I was about to say. He's done a good job of marketing because I'm not sure. Like, can you throw the ball? Can you read a defense? It's football. I'm with Pete on that one.
Tony Boselli, offensive line school. To you next.
You know when I'd be a
You
really
can do that now.
Oh.
Hall of Famer Tony Boselli teaches the basics.
Yeah, and the price just went up like it did for everything else.
Well, and Pete,
Cha-ching.
all I'd have to do is just get one like really talented guy, and that'd be my guy, and then you can get all the other guys that can't play no matter what you teach them. But you're that one guy is your cornerstone,
one 5-star commit,
which who would have been good without me. But
right. He's no matter what he does, he's going to be in the NFL.
Yeah, no matter what. It's like, look
in on the kid.
He worked with Boselli. Look at that. I'm like,
hey, how about the starting offense? 2 12-play drives, stayed on the field, fumbled at the goal line on the opening one, and then cashed the second drive in. And considering the way it had gone for the starting offense in the preseason, the one outing they had, this is much better feeling, at least going out of the preseason, the way they put it together, right, and stayed on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the biggest positive coming out of that game. I mean, they looked in a rhythm, very confident. Trevor he had one bad throw, missed Zay Jones. A little outside, but other than that,
on third down.
Third down. Then he converted a great fourth down ball, stood in there and delivered a strike. I thought he was outstanding. You liked kind of the play mix, very heavy on the run. I mean, listen, watching that game, it was clear that Doug Peterson was like, okay, Trevor's not getting hit. A lot of quick stuff, get it out of his hand, run the ball. But they executed. I thought the guys up front did a good job. I think our tight ends are going to be a problem for defenses. I think Strange.
How so?
Well, no. I mean, number one, Evan Ingram, you have to treat as a wide receiver if he's out there. It's almost a 4 wides look when he's on the field. Luke Farrell, I mean, he's had a really good camp.
He might be the most improved player on the team.
Yeah, and a really good blocker.
I think he's their best tight end blocker.
Yeah, he's a great blocker.
That's what they think.
He's not a pass threat, but he's good. He understands. He knows how to find the soft spot, sits it down. And then I think Strange is going to be a good player. Like when we picked him, I was like, remember watching college tape? I'm like, okay. You see him in camp, and then you watch him in the game. He's a physical kid. He's athletic.
He's bigger than you think.
Like Pete,
he's a great blocker.
I'm a believer in Strange. Like that's a guy that I kind of like. I don't know about that pick. Is that the right guy? Should we have got someone earlier? So on and so forth. But early returns, at least what I've seen in camp, give the scouts credit. Give the coaches credit.
I'm with you. I didn't love the pick either. And I still don't think he's ever going to be a great receiving tight end. I think he'll be a serviceable receiving tight end. But man, that kid likes to put his head in there and block. I mean, and when he comes down the line on those wham blocks, Tony, he goes looking for him.
He's physical, and I think Pete, he's gonna be a better receiver than you're giving him credit for.
Okay, give me an example. What do you think? 50 catches, 40 catches?
Yeah, like he's not going to be, Kelsey or Gronk or those guys.
He's not going to be a 75 catch.
No, but like
they got 4 other playmakers.
He's not going to be that.
You know who? Like I think at his best, remember Austin Hooper?
Yeah,
I think he's a notch above Austin Hooper, like a blocker like Austin Hooper, but better in the pass game. So a guy who catches 50, 55 balls.
Yeah, I mean maybe this year he'll probably catch 15 to 20.
I think he'll catch 10 to 15 this year, maybe 20 upside.
But
number one, because Evan's going to be your guy. Luke Farrell's going to be probably your number 2 tight end for a lot of the 12 stuff. And then you got all those weapons. There's only so many balls.
But I'll tell you what, one thing they don't have to worry about anymore, and it was a problem last year, the edge is blocked. When it needs to get blocked, it's getting blocked.
Between Strange and Farrell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I think that's why
Pete,
you're seeing the run game being better than it has been. Remember, Tony, we talked about before the season, things that needed to happen. Block the edge, and Fortner's got to get stronger. He's gotten stronger, and they blocked the edge.
Well, and I think if you look at the last half of the season last year, Evan Ingram became an above-average blocker.
But he got better at it.
Like he's like because he's a willing blocker. He's a tough-minded kid. He's just not big. He's 255, 6'3", whatever he is. But you watch him block now. He's gonna get if you get a stalemate out of him on a 4-3 defensive end, you're really happy.
It's fine.
But when he starts work up next level, I mean, he is tenacious, and he did a really good job at the end of last year, where you could put him out. You're confident with him out there, and you can run the ball, pass it, because he's such a threat in the pass game. If he's on the field, even in a too tight situation, this is the advantage I think they have. You go in 12 personnel, the majority of the time, Pete and JP, that defense is going to still give you nickel because they treat him as a third receiver. So you're still you're going to get sub packages against 12, which should give you an advantage running the ball.
Well, here's the other part of that. When they have those guys, and I think the Bigsby fumble was an example of that. I think they were on the edge. They blocked down and they pulled Harrison out, and he cracked on the running back. I mean, on the defensive back, and opened up the hole. So if you can crack and win, I think they did it there. Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was Zay Jones, who's one of the best blocking receivers in the league.
Yeah, Zay Jones comes down, and then they pull Harrison out. But you can do that with the tight ends now too.
Bam! Look at Harrison trucking that guy. We got to hold on to the football though, Pete.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's what I think when you have now they have the tight ends who can do that too when they don't crack. If you have a wing, you have Ingram on a wing, and then you pull those lines. Their offensive linemen are very athletic. They can all, even the center, Fortner can pull.
Yeah, they can move.
They're good.
They can move. We've got plenty ahead, plenty of discussion on this to come. Defense as well. Some injury updates. Doug Peterson spoke today. We'll get all that coming up. Second hour, we'll have Fanatics fan questions.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it real, too.
We always keep it real, JP.
Always, but certainly in that one.
Well, me and Tony do.
How about, as we keep it real, we'll talk about it when we come back. How about JP? Someone taking a shot at JP on X last week. I defended you. So did my son.
Appreciate it.
My son came to your defense.
That was bad.
That was. Can I say crap? Can I say crap on the radio?
Well, we got to go to break. We're up against it. We'll come back. Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair, furniture for fans. It is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Hey, Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high-quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a Zip Chair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans. Football and Miller Lite. Duval's greatest pairing. Can cracks and kickoff. Tailgates going well past postgame. Sunday night overtime. Followed by Monday morning pride. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Jags football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Reconnect with the best version of you at Amara Med Spa, Northeast Florida's premier luxury medical spa, located in Ponte Vedra, Town Center, Avondale, St. Augustine, and Fernandina. With the most advanced injectors, estheticians, and technology, Amara Med Spa is redefining beauty, offering services such as Botox and filler, M-Sculpt Neo, painless laser hair removal, and advanced skincare treatments. Visit theamaramedspa.com and book a complimentary consultation today.
We're finding that is real, and we also know that there's going to be some good football players that are going to have to be released, and it's a tough 24 hours or so here and around the league. But it's a credit to obviously Trent and his staff and the quality of athletes and players that we've brought onto this roster and the depth that we've brought to this team. And it's kind of that bittersweet. You'd love to keep them all, but you can't, and you got to make the best decisions moving forward.
It's Doug Peterson, of course, Jaguars head coach. Earlier today, the entire press conference on Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick with Hall of Famer Tony Boselli and CBS Sports senior writer Pete Prisco.
In studio today.
It's a nice shirt, by the way, Tony, I must say. Is that Tommy Bahama? What is that?
No, this is, Johnny O.
John Osher?
John Osher's got a shirt line now?
I guess. It's called Johnny O. I have a bunch of Johnny O shirts. I have good golf shirts.
By the way, Johnny O would be the last guy, real Johnny O would be the last guy you'd ever think would have a clothing line.
If it was, the logo would be a guy with a ponytail.
Oh. God, you can't forget that. That was 30 years ago.
Johnny O.
I think I've seen a photo of that.
I've tried to erase it from my brain.
It was actually a puny tail because it was so.
It was so thin and little.
Yeah, it was like.
It's awful.
Coughlin hated that thing.
Did he really? That's funny.
Oh, he despised it.
Jaguars Happy
Hour. Not
surprising.
Hour.
No, of course not.
JP, let's get back. Wait, before the break, we were talking about the insults. They insulted you.
I don't know who they were. It was
that guy.
Some person.
Who cares? Let me say this. You come after one of us, you come after all of us.
You know what? He did come after all of us. He said we weren't funny. That was the worst part of it. Forget about JP. He said me and you weren't funny.
He obviously doesn't know good comedy.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. JP, he was wrong, and you deserve to be meaner than you were, but you were too nice.
Well, I appreciate that. I think I ended up blocking him later.
Yeah, Pete, what are you going to do when Elon turns off the blocking capability from X? Pete. All those people you've blocked are going to come back to your timeline.
I think he's actually going to realize that he's stupid to do it, and he'll stop it. He'll go back to do it.
Can you imagine, though, if they all just were admitted back into your feed or something? Pete would have to wear it again. You can mute him, though, can't you? Still?
I don't know. I just read some article where they're going to turn off the block feature.
I haven't been as
I immediately thought of Pete, because I bet you Pete has 1,000 people he's blocked.
Oh, more than that.
I think there's a way you can find out how many people you have blocked. I'll figure it out. But
you and Mike Silver are like the kings of blocks.
You know what, though? I'm not as engaged as I used to be. Because
no, you're not. You're quiet on X now.
Well, because I just want to talk football, and everybody wants to start stuff, and I don't want to go there with any of it. I just don't. Yeah,
I have zero interest in talking about politics on X.
No.
The problem is like I look at my timeline. That's all that's there half the time. I'm like,
I mean, I really have zero interest in talking politics in person either.
Well, that too.
Yeah, I mean, never mind the platform.
Yeah. Never mind with some guy or gal who has no pictures, no name, and just wants to start throwing stuff out there.
No,
anyways, what I do like talking about is this football team, because I am excited about this year. And I'm probably more excited post Saturday night.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because preseason's over. You just heard Doug talk about, it's cut time. They're deeper than they have been in the past. They've worked to build this roster up.
They're deeper at some places, less depth at others. Like, there's two positions I have concerns about.
Where are they?
Outside backer, so the rush guys, and corner. Those are the two.
Okay, outside rush guys, I'm a little encouraged by Abdullah.
From what? What'd you see that? Like, I have not.
In a couple of games he had rushes, and I think he's still kind of feeling his way. I think there's a ton of athletic ability there, and he's tough.
He is tough. He's not very big.
He looked athletic on the interception.
Sure, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Okay, Pete, I'll ask you. How many sacks will Abdullah have this year? 2. Okay, thank you.
Well, it's on top of the 25 the other two guys are going to get. That's all he needs.
Okay,
he's to your point, he's 6'1", 240 listed.
Is he as good as Arden Key?
No, not right now.
Is he as good?
Arden's not here.
I'm going back to last
year. Tennessee.
That's the point.
I don't know
That's
if you
the point. I'm going to agree with the guy who posted it on you.
Oh, wow, you went there already.
I agree.
That didn't take long.
He already had a list of other names last week.
Holy cow!
Okay,
I'm going to repost my thoughts.
You might have been the guy who sent it in first.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually you.
That was my burner account.
Thanks a lot.
But he's not as good as Arden Key right now. I'm not saying he can't be, but right now. Is he as good as Dwan Smoot before he got the Achilles? No, Dwan Smoot was one of the better players.
Dwan Smoot and Arden Key could go line up inside and rush from the inside.
But but Pete, my point is, they were the first line as far as rotational players at the outside rushers. They were the first two.
Okay, but they also did a lot of stuff where they were on the inside.
I understand that, but Pete, this is not the mid-90s, early 2000s NFL where guys played on defense every snap.
I get it.
Bruce Smith played every snap. Derek Thomas played every snap. John Randall. And not just the top end guys. The next level. Michael McCrary. I can go down the list. Kevin Carter. They played every snap.
I get it.
And so nowadays, but today, Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker will play 65 to 70% of the snaps. So it's another 30% you have to have capable backups in big moments of the game. Arden Key and Dwan Smoot were that last year for this team. And right now, you have a rookie in Abdullah, who I'm not saying can't grow into the position, but and Chason, who in 3 years has 3 sacks and about 10 tackles.
Oh, but he's good on special teams.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's what I mean. I'm with you. I'm defending what you just said.
So my point is, I have a lot of concern with the depth at that position.
They should trade for Travis Gibson from the Bears. He's available.
How about Derek, the Eagles guy? Who just
Barnett.
Derek Barnett.
You're getting him for a year.
Yeah,
he's
a year.
Up in the year. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think
you have no. So that concerns me. And then corner. Are we still settled on who's going to be the nickel?
Did you see anything that stood out?
I mean, Trey had a nice play at the goal line, which I think he's good at that in that red zone because you don't have to. He doesn't have to worry about getting beat over the top.
Yeah. Greg Jr.
Nothing jumped out to me.
They used the word trust a lot last week. Who do you trust?
They trust Trey Herndon, in my opinion. That's who they probably trust more.
Because he's done it for 7 years.
He's
going to be in the right place.
He's going to be in the right spot. He understands leverage. He's a good run defender. But outside of Tyson Campbell, tell me that, go run down the corners that you have confidence to roll out there. I mean, you got Darius Williams, who did play better the second half. He was not good at nickel. But was it great? No, it was good. I mean, Darius Williams is a good football player. So,
and I mean, just
your
height and weight. He's not as long as Tyson Campbell.
No,
right?
Tyson Campbell's
Darius Williams is 5'9", 187. So.
Tyson Campbell is a number one, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Is Darius Williams a starter? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel fine with those two guys as your outside corners? Yes.
Sure.
So I'm not, but questions at nickel.
It's a 3-corner league now.
So you have.
It's a major question at nickel.
Nickel's a major question, and then tell me the guys behind Campbell and.
I think they're trying to churn those guys out, right? That's why they drafted the last two drafts.
Well, I think they're going to add a corner somewhere.
Well, but I mean, those are when Doug says we have more talent. I agree with that in overall.
Yes.
Overall, I agree. At certain positions, I think we didn't do much in the offseason to address either of those positions. Late round picks, that's it.
Well, I mean, if you use the number 1 overall pick and a top 10 pick on 2 pass rushers, Tony, it's their time.
Yeah.
Do it.
At some point.
Pete, I agree with that.
They've got to develop.
You agree that it shouldn't have gone out and spent on Justin Houston and those guys.
How much is it? How much is a 1-year rental of Justin Houston going to cost you?
I don't think he's that good anymore. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
You're better off going to get a guy like you mentioned, Barnett, or go get Gibson or something.
Gibson, Barnett. How about a 1-year deal for Frank Clark?
The Broncos didn't even want him until a guy got hurt. That's when they signed him. He's done nothing the entire training camp and in preseason. They're disappointed. There's some people out there that think he should be cut.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you take Frank Clark right now as your number 1 backup pass rusher 3?
If I tell him it's January already, he hasn't played during the season.
My point is, but if he only has to play 20 snaps a game, I'm just worried about that.
What's that going to cost you?
I don't know. I'm not saying Frank Clark. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
What would you be comfortable paying that position? 8?
You're probably going to have to pay him 8.
What do you think about Clowney?
I think Clowney. I mean, he's not. Clowney's a different player from the standpoint, Pete. He's not a pure pass rusher. He's a disruptor. Right. You move him around, he blitzes, right. He blows things up, he creates some havoc out there. So they kicked the tires on it.
I mean, you know what he got? You know what he got from the Ravens? Nothing. He got a $1.3 million signing bonus and a $2.5 million salary.
Yeah, I guess my point is, Pete, for those type of dollars, those type of guys, I'm not asking them to be starters. I'm asking them to give some veteran depth at a position we don't have any.
Well, you have another first-round pick who's supposed to be veteran depth.
Well, he's not. I'm rooting for Caleb Vaughn. I hope he does it. I hope the light goes on and it's a different. I just have not seen it.
Nobody has seen it. Where have you seen it? There's no, other than when he loops around or stunts and comes clean. He's not winning. He doesn't win outside in one-on-one situations.
Let's come back. Plenty of this ahead. We'll hear from Doug Peterson a little later on Caleb on Chazon. He was asked about him today. We'll come back with a little more offensive talk as well. The start of the NFL season is just around the corner. Get your single game tickets now. Call 904-633-2000 or visit jaguars.com/tickets. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Melquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you ready to elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans? Citrus Distillers, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is excited to announce the 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Now available at Total Wine and other participating retailers. Elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans. The 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Duval!
You look back on our season last year, that was definitely a weaker spot for us, is starting games slow and having to play lights out in the second half because we started slow and put our defense in a bind. So that's a big improvement. Obviously, we got to carry that over in 2 weeks when we play. But yeah, that was awesome to see. And then even in Dallas, the first game, again, had the turnover and started slow there. So to be able to make those improvements and just stay on schedule. I mean, it was like every play we were able to keep it, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 2, whatever it was. We never behind the chains really, and that was huge.
It's Trevor Lawrence after the game Saturday. A Jaguars win over the Dolphins in preseason week 3. The Jaguars finished the preseason undefeated. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco. Coming up in the second hour, we'll have Fanatics fan questions. We'll keep it real as we always do. And that's Trevor talking about the lack of fast starts a lot last season. And, Saturday night, they were out there for 12 plays, 2 different drives, kept it on the field, stayed ahead of the chains, did most everything right.
The only time they didn't stay ahead of the chains was on the holding penalty. Yeah,
Correct.
they got the 1st and 20, but they got out of that.
They got out of it.
Outside of that, and the only other time is, Trevor missing Zay Jones, which would have been an easy pickup on 3rd and 6. They ended up going for it and getting it. So Trevor's exactly right. Outside of those two situations, they were ahead of the chains the entire time.
It was weird because he rushed that throw. He didn't need to. There was nobody near him. The one that Zay Jones that got wide on him.
Yep.
But here's the other thing about watching him now. And Tony, you'll attest to this because you were one of those guys. When you know you're good, and you know it. You might maybe halfway through last season he had his doubts because he didn't know the offense. He was learning the offense. And then he got good at the end of last year. But I'm telling you, watching him now and the command he has of the offense and the way he presents himself, he knows he's good. Tony was that guy. Tony was that exact same guy. And when a guy knows he's good, then it's on from there. You go from there. And Tony, you know exactly what I'm talking about because you were that guy and you knew it. It wasn't like you walked in and knew it right away. You thought that, but there's a moment in time where you know you're good.
Well, I think it's just confidence, Pete, is what you're talking about. When you start, you start having confidence in your trust in your ability and what you see and what you're doing on the field. It allows you to play at a different level. I mean, my best games, if I look throughout my career, when I was not even thinking about the technique, it was just line up, understood what I was doing, and just like you're just, they call it the zone or wherever. You're just in this rhythm that you feel like, this guy I can do what I want. Now, every play, the good players, every play is a challenge, and you have bad plays, even when you have that mindset. And Trevor will have bad plays. That's just the best do. But there is a confidence, and you can see it in Trevor, just how he approaches. And I thought, and I think, Pete, you're probably right. There was probably, I don't know if there was doubt inside of Trevor Lawrence. I think there was a part of the process last year. I go back, and I remember last year talking about it on this show and on other shows when people were starting to question after the London game. My goodness, you'd have thought people were going to jump off the bridge, yep. One of the bridges around here, because they thought he was a bust. And I said it then. I'm like, you guys are crazy. He is the dude. He is a franchise quarterback. Because I go back to his rookie year when it was all falling apart around him, and he had a poise that you can't teach. It's innate. It's who he is. He's a natural leader. He's confident. He has supreme athletic ability. He's mental toughness. He's smart. So, and I think it all started coming together for him, and you start having that success in the field, which he did the second half of the year, and he's coming to this year after a good offseason, command of the offense, like you said, Pete, and he's the dude. That's the bottom line. He is the dude. He's
the dude.
That's who he is.
He's going to be the MVP.
You called that already. I think you locked that, Pete.
I did lock that. He's going to be the MVP. They are going to score 500 points this year.
Well, I got ridiculed in the offseason. I said this would be the most potent, best offense in the history of this franchise. And everyone's like, oh, what about when you were here and Fred and Jimmy and Keenan? I'm not saying they have the best players on offense this franchise has ever had. I'm saying this is going to be the best offense as far as production, scoring, points. Now, some of that's just due to the era that we're playing in. It was a completely different era. Yeah. But they have a great play caller. Doug Peterson and Press Taylor, who both of them kind of do it together. Great design of plays. They have one of the best offensive line coaches in Phil Rauscher. So the coaching position, Chad Hall, I think, was an addition at the wide receivers, done a great job with those guys. Then you have a guy in Trevor, and I love Mark Brunell's my best friend, but Trevor will be the best at the end of this year. I think everyone will say Trevor's the best quarterback to ever wear a Jaguars jersey. And on the air, I said this is the first time since Mark Brunell was here where you trust the guy playing quarterback. Like, there's no questions. Like, he's the guy. Like, back when Mark was here, and Pete, you covered the team, like, there was no questions. It was like, yeah, Mark's our franchise quarterback. He's the guy.
Were there questions around Byron? And
Yes, all of them. David,
everyone.
Gerard,
the whole,
Gabbert, Bortles.
I knew Bortles, yeah.
But
Minshew. Just go down
does Mark know you say that about Trevor?
I think Mark says it.
Mark's right.
I mean, no.
I love Mark too. I covered him. I love him. I love seeing him and talking to him and everything else. But by the end of this year, Mark Brunell will be number 2.
And I'm not. I love Mark, and he's a great player. And Mark would even be better if he would have been allowed to play in this era, or they let him play to his strengths back when. Because back then, everyone used to yell at Mark for getting out of the pocket, running around, and like all he would do is win games and make plays.
Now they're designing offenses
and
around
now,
that.
if he played in this system, this wide open, he would have been. They'd be like,
what was Mark's career touchdown high? 25,
20,
wasn't it? 20. Yeah. And that's the thing. When you talk about this offense on paper compared to that offense, it's not better. Trevor's better. Your line back then was much better.
Would you say our guards and center are better?
No, Wydell used to stand up all the time, so no, it didn't count.
my point is Fortner would be better than what we had, and Brandon Sheriff is better than what we had.
Yeah, Leon and yourself.
Now when Zach Wiegert was a good guard in '99. The 1 year he played guard next to Leon.
And Tilsky was when he was was a good.
He was
player.
better. Yeah, he's good. So offensive line. I'd say we're probably better at right now. Better at tight end just because the volume of the guys we have.
Deep.
Receiver. There's no. Calvin's is great. I would still take Jimmy Smith every day on Sunday, and twice on Sunday.
Oh, Jimmy Smith. Until Calvin shows he can do what Jimmy Smith does, you would take Jimmy Smith.
And as a number 2 slot receiver, not any better than Keenan.
No, as good as Christian Kirk is in that role, he ain't better than Keenan.
But
those guys look at the sheer volume of passes those two caught in an era when it wasn't wide open like this.
In an era when you got killed going across the middle of the field. And Fred Taylor, that's not even.
Oh, come on.
It's
not
close.
Travis Etienne's a nice player.
Very good player. I love Travis.
He's not Fred.
But he's running a 4.28.
He ain't Fred.
So that offense was more talented. This one will be more prolific.
Yep. And I love Tom, and Tom was a great offensive mind. People don't realize that, and Gilbride was a great coordinator and everything else. For me, the way Doug Peterson calls a game.
Me too.
And a little bit that's due to the era as well, because what you're allowed to do. I mean, some of the routes they run now, you'd have wives of the receivers and parents of the receivers calling the head coach and saying, "Please don't ask my son to run across the field like that. He's going to get killed."
Dangerous.
I mean, it was a different game. You had safeties that were like headhunters, and all their one job was to knock people out.
Right.
And you
could beat them up a little bit more back down on the outside. It was a much more physical game.
And Pete, you could knock people out even if they didn't get the ball thrown to them.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, or if the ball was high, I mean, it was death. But this offense is so fun, and I got to imagine it is fun to play in. I mean, as an offensive lineman, what you're allowed to do, and the very little just straight drop back, and it's a lot of play action, and you put the defense in a bind before you ever snap it. So I think this offense will go down as the best offense in the history of this franchise at the end of the year.
I agree. And by the way, we talk about real quick, JP, talk about the ball coming out and getting the ball out and how easy it is for offensive linemen. The rookie right tackle in Tony's era, if he made a couple blocks he did the other night, in Tony's era, those were sacks.
Yes.
Period. They were sacks. So he's got talent. He's just got to get better. That was a good player he was working against. But it's a different game. The ball's out. They predetermine. Get it out. Go here. You're going here. Get the flow that way. Throw the tight end on the boot the other way. It's so much easier now than those 7-step drops where Brunell would go back and pat the ball and you guys would have to hold up. Listen,
it's like, hold up. Here we go. We got to hold this ball. Mark's like, my favorite was in the huddle. Mark would be like, okay, I need a little extra time. I'm like... How much extra is like 5 seconds? 6? What are we doing back there? Yeah, I mean, Anton Harrison's going to be outstanding, and let's talk about Harrison and the line when we get back.
That's what we're doing.
Because I want to pick up what Pete said.
Thanks, producer Tony. Appreciate it.
Well, listen.
It was already on the list.
You
But
give
that's
me a
okay.
little finger sign over.
Yeah,
Not,
saying
not,
wrap it
not
up.
the finger.
Well, I'm about to.
Wrap it
Yeah.
up finger.
That's
You're
off
gonna give me
camera.
the other one too soon.
That's right. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Offensive line when we come back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dream Finders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dream Finders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dream Finders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamFindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Taylor Dahl here for Renewal by Anderson. You will love your new custom windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. The first 50 callers get a free upgrade to TrueScene window screens, plus easy payment plans tailored to fit your budget. Offer expires August 31st. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. First hour of Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans. We're on 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com. Jaguars YouTube rehashing the preseason Week 3 win for the Jags. And cut day coming up officially tomorrow. The business is underway, though, for the Jaguars. They have to have it done by 4 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon, every team has to be to 53 players. All right, offensive line. You mentioned Anton Harrison, Tony, but there was a lot of questions going into the game about the left side of that line. Walker Little did not play, and we were told he tweaked his groin, but they, as a precaution more than anything, sat him out. Cam Robinson got the bulk of the snaps. It's his last chance to play for 4 weeks. And coming off a performance in Detroit, that was below average, let's say. That's what the head coach said. That's what you guys have said. How did Cam Robinson bounce back, in your opinion?
He was better, much better. I thought the whole offensive line played well. I mean, they moved the ball. You got to give them credit. I think it was a bunch of quick passing game. I mean, so, Pete brought it up about Anton Harrison. I thought, I've been really impressed with his sets and how he's done. I thought he got short on a couple sets. Now, Harrison did, which means he opened up his shoulders and gave a short corner. And that could be because he thought it was 3 steps, so he's trying to go a little flatter and stuff. But just watching it, and Pete's right, if Trevor would have had to hold the ball at all. And Jalen Phillips is a good football player. And he got on the edge and got close. And so it's a good learning. The good news is Trevor didn't get hit, and it's a good coaching point. I'm not worried about Anton Harrison. You mentioned Walker Little. That is concerning just from the standpoint, for a big guy to have a tight groin or hip, a tight groin, I think that's what they said, is something you never want. But I don't think it's anything serious. Everything I'm hearing, it was precautionary, so he'll be out there. And Cam's going to have to go on the shelf and JP, correct me if I'm wrong, repeat if you know this. I believe he can come back 2 weeks before the suspension is over. So he suspended the first 4 weeks. So I believe he's out of the building now, I think he has to leave the building once cut downs are made.
Right.
Because he won't be on the 53-man. So maybe end of day tomorrow. And so at
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Yeah. So at that point, he's away from the building for almost 4 weeks. 3.5, 4 weeks before he can come back in and start practicing again. So, he's a pro. Hopefully he'll just take care of his body and be in good shape and continue to do what he needs to do. And we'll see where we sit come week 5.
Okay, what do you think happens?
I have no idea, Pete. I really don't. Because
it's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is.
It's a hard decision.
It's not just dependent on how Walker's playing. It's how Ben Barch is playing. It's based on injuries. Mm-hmm. We got the rookie with a shoulder that has caused some problems during the preseason. So how's he going to be?
Well, here's another piece of it. You mentioned Ben Barch. How did he play?
I thought Ben played well. First action, I thought he did a good job.
Solid. I thought he was much better in pass protection than he was in the run game.
Yeah, I thought.
But again, it's all quick.
Yeah, I thought overall. I still think the question I want to see is when you get a good 3 technique or D lineman and Ben Barch is in space. I think that's where if they can isolate him and get him in space, that's where he struggled a little bit last year. But I thought his first performance after coming after a major knee injury and missing all that time, I thought he did just fine. I thought he did a good job.
I thought Sheriff was good the other night.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's a pro.
If he's healthy, and that's always been the book on him, he's got to stay on the field. But when he's healthy, and he stayed on the field last year amazingly because he fought through that injury. But he's got to stay healthy because he's a good player when he's healthy.
Yep, and I think Fortner's gotten stronger this year and done a good job.
There was one play, Tony, and you'll remember this. I think it was a short run where Fortner made his block initially, and the guy came off
late.
And got Bigsby, and Bigsby kind of went into him, and he pounced it out. But that one, that's still stuff that Fortner's got to get used to, get better at, is staying there. Hold it. You won it. You made the block. Now stay there and continue it.
Yeah, it's just finishing the play. A little late leakage is never good. And listen,
yeah, you're right.
Luke's a tall, big guy for a center, and I think his challenge is always going to be when you have that zero head up nose kind of, those are big, strong, usually squattier men, and Luke's a long center, and so he's have to really work on this leverage, and that's where he needs to get stronger. And he's looked better so far in camp and preseason games, and I think
he's athletic too.
Yeah, he's great because he can pull. He can do so many different things.
And he gets out and gets to the second level.
He does a good job.
I think he actually made a tackle the other day because the linebacker pushed him into Bigsby on one play, and he ended up making the tackle. You remember that run?
He got hammered because he's pulling around the left side, and he saw the backer coming inside out late, and the backer knocked him off his feet and kind of threw him. And Bigsby wouldn't have got tackled just by that. He was getting tackled, but Fortner was in the area. Let's put it that way.
By the way. That's Harrison's supposed to get out on that back and got out on that backer and didn't keep himself on that backer. If you go back and watch that play, which tells you he's athletic enough to get to him, and then he's another one that just has to learn that it's not college. You got to hold that thing.
Yep, you got to finish. Finishing's important.
All right, who are your swing guys right now, Tony? Hance?
Oh, gosh. I think Hance is on the roster. The big question is Tyler Shatley.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big question. You had the AFib event.
He apparently is eligible to come practice this week. And
he's off the blood
full
thinners.
participant, Doug said today.
And
if he's a full participant, he stays.
But I guess here's the question, Pete. And I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I mean, is this something they need to worry about coming back? Is AFib? Or is it a one-time event that you can manage? I just don't know, because if based on the protocols that he just went through, is you have an AFib and having family members who had that, you go on the blood thinners and then you can't play for a period of time. I just don't know, kind of as you think about him being that swing guy, center guard, how Doug and Trent are thinking about that with the AFib. I'm sure they're talking to doctors and understanding kind of what it looks like and so on and so forth.
But if he's clear, he's going to be on the roster.
I would think so, because he gives you so much flexibility. Can play either guard, center. So I think so. Josh Wells will not. I think they end up probably doing an injury settlement with Josh Wells, where they can bring him back if they need to. So it'll be interesting.
Plenty ahead, plenty more on the offensive line. We'll hear Doug Peterson from his press conference a little bit earlier today, discussing the pass rush. And the second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour is coming up with Fanatics fan questions. We're going to keep it real as we always do. The first hour of Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Reconnect with the best version of you at Amara Med Spa, Northeast Florida's premier luxury medical spa, located in Ponte Vedra, Town Center, Avondale, St. Augustine, and Fernandina. With the most advanced injectors, estheticians, and technology, Amara Med Spa is redefining beauty, offering services such as Botox and filler, M-Sculpt Neo, painless laser hair removal, and advanced skincare treatments. Visit theamaramedspa.com and book a complimentary consultation today.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gate's frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're in the market for a full-size 8-passenger SUV, look no further than the Defender 130. And with the Defender 90, the 110, and this 130, there's luxury in the right size for everyone. Right, Sammy?
Plus, when you buy or lease from Land Rover Jacksonville, you'll become a member of the Fields Amenities Program with complimentary loaners, car washes, our cafe, and much more, all at no charge.
Hey, Jags fans, Everbank is driven by performance, strength, and security. Start building your legacy today with Everbank's Yield Pledge accounts, all of which deliver a yield in the top 5% of competitive accounts nationwide. Visit everbank.com/Jaguars for your earned advantage. Everbank, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Have you noticed? It's raining a lot in our area lately. That means you can give your sprinklers a break and save some money in the process. Lawns only need water up to twice a week, and that can come from rain. So before you run your sprinklers, remember to watch the weather and wait to water. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com.
It's twofold, right? You're cutting your roster down. You're getting to the 53, and then this 16, or in our case 17, with IO, practice squad players, and you don't want to go backwards. You don't want to not push, right? From a practice standpoint and all that. Yes, it is a way to kind of recharge, and you don't have the intensity of practicing and getting ready for a game this week. But at the same time, I want to maintain, the sense of urgency, as we head into the first week of the regular season.
Of course, that's head coach Doug Peterson earlier today discussing the week ahead for the Jaguars. And welcome back. It's hour 2 of Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco. The Jaguars wrapped the preseason with a win over the Dolphins Saturday, 31-18 the final. Starting offense put together 2 12-play drives and left the game. The Jags ran the ball pretty well. The only blemish, the goal line lost fumble by rookie running back Tank Bigsby. C.J. Beathard came in, played pretty well with the second team also. The Jags defense overall pretty good. Decent against the run on the interior. They let one outside get away early. 2 interceptions from the Jags defense. Eric Hallett and Yasir Abdullah with the picks. And now it's on to the roster cuts. Tuesday, 4 p.m. is the deadline. Down to 53. The Jaguars have 3 practices on the schedule this week, as of right now at least, with a hurricane looming. And then they're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. And, Tony, you're here in person for the first time in a little while, which is great.
Yes.
So you're about to find out, and you might not ever miss again, because Mr. Chubby's Wings brings in food each Monday for our staff out here.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
So we may not, Pete, see Tony much this second hour because he's going to be out there scarfing wings.
Tony doesn't eat anymore.
I'm trying to be healthy, and I love wings. I'm not saying they're unhealthy, but I have dinner tonight with my son, and so I probably should not eat 2 dinners. That would not be good for my
It's been done before.
It has been, and it led to me being very heavy. Very fat.
Tony, when you go on the road now, because you used to be a big dine out guy with the fellas, what is that like now?
I'll still go out. I have no problem. A good steakhouse. And you know what? My philosophy, Pete, has been with this little weight loss journey that I've been on and health journey is like if you go too extreme, it's not sustainable. So I'll go out with my wife. We'll have a good meal. I just, instead of getting the bone-in ribeye tomahawk or whatever,
you get the petite filet
and 8 sides and a dessert and everything else that goes with it. Just get a salad. One side, some veggies. And a filet, not a petite. This is normal.
The big filet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not going to hurt you. It's just being smart. And every once in a while, I have dessert, too.
Wow. You're not going to go any lower, I hope.
No, I'm staying right where I am.
Yeah.
Maybe gain a few pounds. I don't know.
Really?
Well, I'm not going to be overly worried if I gain 5 or lose 5 or gain 10 or lose. I'm just staying in this general kind of a 5 to 10 buffer either way.
You still on the push-up kick?
Yeah, I've been doing push-ups. 240 will be done today. Did 239 yesterday.
What number are you at right now today?
With that head, that's like benching 500 every time you do a
It is. It's hard.
It's a whiplash.
I've done 120 today so far. 120 so far.
He's knocking them out during commercials, Pete.
I did my sprints today over at the field. I go run my sprints, which everybody hates because too old for it, but I do it anyways.
I would pay money to watch you sprinting.
I'm not sprinting to time myself.
I don't want to time you. I just want to watch you like weeble wobble.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
No, you're not. No.
He's explosive.
Like
an old man. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an old man athlete.
With those short legs, his strides are like 6 inches.
Quick twitch
He's
is
like,
not in the vocabulary.
He has like little 6-inch strides.
What was the defensive back who picked up the fumble that you were being a big giant clod trying to catch?
I caught him too. Don't forget that,
did.
Pete. Artrell Hawkins.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one in New England.
Oh, I gave up on that.
But no, look, I'm going to be 63 in October. So when I go sprint, do I sprint like Usain Bolt? No.
All right. Hey, cut day is tomorrow. The process is beginning today for the Jaguars. All the teams have to be to 53 by 4 o'clock. That's what's next, and then we'll see. We just heard Doug there talking about the practices, balancing that, with not working too hard, resting a little bit, still trying to stay at it. With the hurricane looming, you never know. Wednesday could be washed out with everything that could happen weather-wise that day here, so we got to keep an eye on that.
Is it going to be
give him a couple more days off?
Is it going to be a hurricane when it gets here, or is it going to be a tropical storm?
The track I saw is that it could be now I'm no meteorologist. I'm just reading what I saw earlier. It could be as strong as a 3 when it hits the Big Bend, and then a 1 or a tropical storm over here.
Okay.
And like the east side of the storm could be coming through here, the wet side.
Well, hopefully, hopefully it just disappears,
that would be nice.
It's not likely, and just
No, it looks like it's going to get the upper a little above Tampa really hard.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with everyone on the west coast of Florida, and hopefully everyone stays safe and takes it serious and gets everything taken care of. It's that time of year. We deal with it here in Florida every year.
Every year. So cut day coming. What is the most difficult cut? What position group? Wide receivers. Let's go through the receivers, right? We've talked about this a lot this preseason, and there's 5, and if you're going to keep 6, who would be that 6th? And whoever's not being kept is there's some candidates that could be claimed by other teams.
Make himself the 6 now.
Yeah, I think Tim Jones, just because he can play all 3 positions.
Right, he can play special teams.
He's a good special teams guy. I don't think there's. I think if Vontrell Miller didn't get hurt, I think there would have been a tough cut at linebacker. I think it would have come down to him or Shaq. I don't think it's a tough, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think the 6 receivers are set. I think it's Kirk, Zay Jones, Ridley, Jamal Agnew. That's your 4. Mm-hmm. I don't see them getting rid of Parker Washington because they drafted him.
Yeah, he's here.
Plus, he would probably be the backup return guy.
Yeah, but I don't think he's active on game day as long as Jamal's healthy.
No, but if something happened to your returner,
and I think Tim Jones is the 6th guy.
I agree. I mean,
can they sneak any of those tall guys through to the squad, maybe, or no? Or are they going to get claimed?
No, I think you probably. I mean.
Which one are you talking about, Jake?
Cooks or Harris? Jacob Harris.
Jacob Harris and Cooks.
Harris probably over Cooks.
And so, and Seth Williams has had a nice camp. So yeah, I think, but I think it's. I
think you could get those guys onto the practice squad.
Yeah, I think. I think you're probably right. And then defensively, we talked about linebacker Ventrell Miller. I think had a chance to beat out Quarterman.
Into the microphone, please, Tony. Thank you.
So he actually Ventrell Miller played better the other day.
Yeah, I thought he played well until he hurt his Achilles.
Yeah, he's done for the year, Pete. They announced that today.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He probably would have taken that job because they weren't going to cut the draft pick.
I think it'll be interesting as your last corner. I mean,
Okay, how many corners do you think they'll keep?
At least 5, maybe 6.
Okay, so let's go through them.
Well, it's Darius Williams, Tyson Campbell, Trey Herndon, and Gregory Jr. That's the 4.
I think they'll keep Braswell too.
I think it's probably Braswell and Hallett. Maybe Tavon Campbell beats out Hallett. Maybe put Hallett on the practice squad.
Hallett had some rough moments in a couple weeks ago, but but
he's
got
Gregory Jr.'s in that list.
I said Gregory Jr. is the 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Claybrooks is out. Odd man out.
So they like him as a gunner. They think he's fantastic as a gunner on special teams.
They had I saw Mike DeRocco cut the team, and he had Claybrooks still on the team.
Yeah, he might.
I think that carries a lot of weight.
It does
with them.
Maybe so if you keep Claybrooks, then I think Braswell is ahead of Tavon Campbell.
Okay, but Claybrooks is a good gunner. Can't Hallett become a good gunner?
I have no idea, Pete. I don't know.
But I mean, if you can run a little bit and you got a little bit, I always say that everybody goes, "Oh, we'll keep him for special teams." If you can find a guy who can play special teams.
Well, I mean, you have to have a mentality to be a gunner. You got to be fast. You got to be tough. You got to be physical.
You got 2 guys covering you a lot of times.
So I don't think it's just like
of all the defensive backs you got, you could find a gunner.
Well, you don't want your starters to be out there. So
you can have 6 backup defensive backs, counting 2 safeties.
Well, the safeties, you're going to keep Cisco Jenkins, Daniel Thomas Wingard, and Antonio Johnson. I think the reason they might only keep 5 corners, because I think they're going to keep 5 safeties. And Antonio Johnson can play that nickel.
Well, they're certainly keeping 4 safeties, and the question becomes,
5.
do you keep Thomas?
They're keeping Thomas. They're keeping Thomas.
I think Thomas has played pretty well in the preseason, too, so I would keep him. So where's the tough cut? Have we come with a tough cut yet? No.
I think just down
the wide receivers.
I don't think the wide receivers is tough. I think the down the line. And then the interesting thing will be, because we don't know the situation with Devon Hamilton and that injury.
Yeah, he was back in the building today, apparently.
Right, he was back today. But what does that do to Ledbetter?
What does that mean, by the way?
What?
I'm back in the building. So why wasn't he in the building?
Well, Doug Peterson said today that he was back in the building. His wife was with him.
He had a back issue, Pete. Non-football injury.
Back injury.
There's a lot of holes in that story.
Actually, I don't think there are. I don't think there are a lot of stories.
When you're a company guy, of course you're not going to say they're all.
No, I'm just not going to. I'm not going to say what I've heard. I think there's nothing nefarious. I think everyone's being above board. And I think he had a situation that was non-football, and I think hopefully it's going to be taken care of, and he'll be back ready to go. I actually, Pete, I know where you're coming from, because don't put it past. I mean, I'm not putting it past an NFL team to kind of tell stories at this time of year what's really going on. I don't think that's the case in this situation. I think the team's been up front, forthright, and I think hopefully he'll be ready. But that's a question mark. And that
he's back in the building. Okay, is he back in the building? Is he lifting weights? Is he back in the building? Is he running? Is he back in the building? Is he doing anything football related? Is he back in the building just saying hello to everybody and they wheeled him in? I mean, what do you mean back in the building? What's it mean?
I'll say this. Anytime I hear back in the building with so-and-so's wife, I don't take that as he's back in the building working, doing football stuff.
That's the way I took it also.
That's not good.
I'm not saying that's Pete. Thank you for paying attention.
That's why
I did say that. I think
not you, them.
I said it's unknown his status opening day, and I think that changes what you do with this roster.
If so the rule is if he's still non-football, if he's on the NFI list at the start of the year, non-football injury.
Well, then he has to sit out 4 weeks.
4 weeks, right?
Yeah, 4.
So if let's just say he is on that list, then all of a sudden now you bring in, Ledbetter's on the team for sure at that point. I think they keep Tyler Lacey. And then do you keep...
Oh, by the way, Ledbetter started the game last week. Like I said 3 times last week on the show, and you ripped me.
Yeah, but Tony never let you finish that thought, though.
Unreal.
I didn't rip you for that.
He played a lot. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You totally did.
I never said he's going to... Oh, I thought
you said Lacey,
Lacey,
and I said no. What about Ledbetter?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Good call. I was wrong.
Yeah. Mark that. Let's cut that.
First time all year. First time in 2 years I've been wrong.
It's amazing.
But Lacey, what was Lacey? Did he play at all?
Let's see the snaps for Lacey.
Vohasek
he did.
Vohasek played quite a bit too.
Lacey didn't play, did he?
Did not play.
Is there a reason he didn't play?
Well, non-football injury, back injury. I'm sure that's the excuse.
Okay, Pete.
Here we go, Pete.
Okay, Pete. It's great.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say everybody, if they don't tell you what it is, I mean,
Yeah, Lacey didn't play.
no, that's. I mean, was it listed why he didn't play?
I have not heard.
Speaking of
there were a couple of those guys, like, he talked about Muma didn't play today.
Yeah, but Muma didn't play because there's
a couple. Maybe there's something minor there, but why risk it in the last preseason game?
Well, he's a
rookie
rookie
from North Carolina didn't play,
and that's
very
what he
well.
talked about Chazon too. It's like
who, Pete?
What, Volshak?
Vohasek.
Vohasek.
Yeah, him
Pete.
too. Well, I mean, usually when a guy's not going to make the team, I don't spend the time on his name.
Speaking of not playing, Pete, what'd you think about them?
Shadrick. Oh, didn't you get cut for somebody else the other day?
Yeah, Tony tried to cut me.
Here we go.
Last week.
Pete, question for you. What'd you think about them canceling the game with a little over 8 minutes left?
I didn't care. Did you care?
No, I mean, let me be honest. Did I care? No, I was like, okay, I got to go home earlier than I thought. But I don't understand it. The second time this preseason that they've canceled a game because of an injury. So
You know what it is?
It's
Tony,
football, isn't it?
After what happened with DeMar Hamlin,
So
everybody's in.
Are we going to cancel games in the regular season? Because
Can't do that in the regular season.
that's my point. But why have Here's my only point. I actually don't care.
Who wants to play any of these games?
Then
That's
why have them?
Well, pretty soon you only have 2 of them, and you probably have 18 games.
I would vote to have 0 with 18 games and
just do joint practices.
Because here's the thing, and I get the business model. I'm fine with it, and I buy season tickets. I'm all good with it. But people, sponsors, season ticket holders buy tickets to go watch a football game. Unless there's a dang good reason to cancel it, why, if you're just going to cancel it indiscriminately.
Well, how many people were still left watching that at that moment?
20,000?
How many were there to start the game?
Over 50. They had a good crowd.
They announced 67 sold.
Yeah, I think
64 sold.
I bet you in the stands, 55.
Yeah, so so 20,000 were left.
You're missing my point, Pete. If that injury happens in the first half, are we canceling the game?
Probably not.
Okay, then why are we canceling with 8 minutes left?
Because they want to get the hell out of there.
Okay,
that's
then you and I are making the same point.
Yeah, I agree.
We saw that earlier in the game, and I'm all for player safety. I sometimes don't know what player safety means in the NFL because it's a physical game. If you're stepping on the field, you are by the very definition putting yourself in an unsafe situation. It's the game of football.
Well, I mean, now has it got to the point where every time a guy gets strapped into the gurney, they're can't stop the game and postpone it, right?
Yeah, that's my bigger point, Pete.
Right, and now we've gotten to the point where we're almost thankfully we are overly cautious in putting guys on that thing and getting them off of there.
Well, he was, and thank goodness, I'm happy. He was released from the hospital with 0 issues, had full movement, everything.
He's in the concussion protocol.
It was precautionary to make sure, and he was in concussion protocol.
But he had full movement when he was taking him off the field, they said.
And that's my point. When I played, they would just say, get up and they'd take you to the locker room. He got knocked out. I get it. It's scary. I'm not diminishing the young man's injury. But this is the game of football.
Right.
It's physical. Yeah. It's dangerous.
In the regular season, that game doesn't get canceled.
Well, and I guess, Pete, is this because we've seen it twice now in the preseason, and I get why Doug and Mike McDaniel did it. I mean, it's like, okay, we've seen enough. Let's get out of here. But are we?
Here's the point too. They can only do so much. I mean, that's a commissioner decision, right?
I don't think in the preseason it is.
No. And the other thing is,
regular season,
I don't know
only
if you
the
guys
commissioner
saw,
can
but
do
on the TV, you could see Trent came down, and he looked a little disappointed that the game was being canceled. You could, because he probably wanted to see those back end guys a little more.
Absolutely. And I will just end with this because we got to go to break. Is this the beginning of the end, or maybe it's the middle part of the end, Pete, or maybe it's the end of the end of preseason football? When you have 2 games canceled with significant time left because of an injury.
Yes. And it's moving in that direction.
I agree.
Let's come back. Plenty ahead. We'll keep it real when we return.
I thought I just did.
Kind of.
I thought that was pretty real, JP.
Well, it's a different topic we got coming up.
My topic was spot on. A+. Is
that a sentence?
Probably not.
No. PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jags, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Hey, I know we love our happy hours, but have you been to Mr. Chubby's Wings for lunch lately?
Yep, their new specials are awesome. I eat lunch there all the time.
I went this week and got wings, a drink, and chips for $8.
As usual, the best prices in town. You can't hardly find anyone doing $8 lunch anymore.
I know. I'm saving my money for the weekends with $8 lunch specials.
Save your money for the weekends. Enjoy $8 lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Football and Miller Lite. Duval's greatest pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going well past postgame. Sunday night overtime.
For the touchdown.
Followed by Monday morning pride. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Jags football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
It's football season and time to take your game to the next level with a Ford F-150 truck. Light up your tailgate with an available Pro Power onboard generator. And with an available 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, you can tow just about anything you need to rule the stadium lot. Ford F-150, part of the F-Series lineup that have been the best-selling pickups for 46 straight years. Get to your local Ford store today. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Everyone wins when 2 great traditions team up. Yucatan Guacamole is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Our authentic guacamole recipe starts with hand-scooped avocados and ends up in your hands fresh and ready to enjoy. Grab some on game day at the Yucatan Cantina or Yucatan nacho carts around the stadium or at local retail stores. Sack your snack game with Yucatan Guacamole.
The 2023 season is awesome. Introducing the Four-Legged Fan Club, the Jaguars' official fan club for pets. Presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital, your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit Jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up.
Reconnect with the best version of you at Amara Med Spa, Northeast Florida's premier luxury medical spa, located in Ponte Vedra, Town Center, Avondale, St. Augustine, and Fernandina. With the most advanced injectors, estheticians, and technology, Amara Med Spa is redefining beauty, offering services such as Botox and filler, Emsculpt Neo, painless laser hair removal, and advanced skincare treatments. Visit theamaramedspa.com and book a complimentary consultation today.
Ideally, you kind of spread the wealth, you get everybody involved, you use all the guys that we have because we have so many playmakers. And it doesn't always go that way, as we know in the season. Things can turn out differently in games. You just do whatever you can to win. But today, it worked that way, and that's always good when it does. It's good to get everybody involved, and I think the guys played great.
Trevor Lawrence after the game Saturday, preseason week 3, a win over the Dolphins, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, the second hour of the show, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, who I don't even know anymore.
You have the wing.
I don't know you anymore.
Why is
Tony.
that? Why don't you know me?
Because the old Tony, when I said there are wings outside and lots of them, would have just pulled a hammy getting out there.
Well, JP, I explained.
I know. I mean, I know it's the new Tony.
I love Mr. Chubby's wings. They're outstanding wings.
I brought some in here. They're fantastic.
And you did bring some in here. Yeah. If I was not eating dinner right after the show with my son, I would have
explain
some.
that. I know. It's just
you could have one wing. It's not going to kill you.
It's an appetizer.
Well, Pete, you got to know where your weakness is. I can't.
It wouldn't just be one wing.
I can't remember the last time I had one Mr. Chubby wings.
One turns into 10.
I could see one on JP's desk. The desk. Does he have one in there right now?
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah, I got
hold them up so they can see them.
I don't want to
JP.
spill the ranch. Sorry. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
wow.
He has 4 of them. If I have one wing, I'll have 10 wings.
What kind do you have, JP?
They are plain. These are regular.
I got to be honest with you, Pete. It makes it easier for me not to have because they are plain. Because I like the hot ones.
I like hot ones too.
And so if they were hot, I'd be more tempted.
This reminds me, Pete, on the old radio show that you had on another station in Jacksonville. I used to come on and do Jacksonville Suns updates with you.
Yes, you did.
And I ate a chicken leg on the air one time. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that today.
I remember that.
Those days
I remember
are over.
that.
From the old Beach Road chicken dinners, which is no longer.
It's not there anymore, right?
Oh, it's gone. Those were the days, Pete. That was like, what, 2008?
That was a long time ago, before they ran me off the airwaves.
What happened with that?
Don't know. Well, first off, it was killing me to do both jobs, by the way. So
I bet, yeah, it's a lot.
But I used to have fun on that show. You know what, dude, JP?
Yeah.
The one-man radio show is gone now.
Absolutely. It's very rare.
It's hard. It's too hard to do.
Very rare. Only a few can pull it off.
Yeah.
Who's the best at it?
Jim Rome.
You think he's better than Colin Cowherd?
Well, Cowherd has 2 now.
Yeah, he's got sidekicks.
Oh, but forever it was just Cowherd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Jim is still by himself, I think.
How about Feinbaum?
But it's caller heavy.
Yeah.
Like he just leans
But so is Jim Rome.
But not, well, yeah, I guess you're right. But now Rome goes kind of on his own a little more than Feinbaum does. Feinbaum is just
the one who used to always amaze me was Cowherd, because for the longest time he was by himself for 3 hours. I was like, holy cow.
That's a lot.
I was by myself for 3 hours every day.
But Pete, you were caller. I mean, and I'm not saying it was easy, but you were caller heavy too. You leaned on the callers to kind of help carry the show.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
But people forget that I started in the mornings with Frank, remember?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
God, 2005, 4 maybe? Somewhere along those lines. Yeah. I mean, I've been here for 5 years, going on, over 5 years now.
We've been doing this show for 5 years?
We've been doing
longer
this
than
show
that, because I did it there for a year or 2, right?
I bet you, 8 years?
Yeah. We've had different variations of Tony Boselli, too. The big guy, the little skinny guy. We've had different variations of me, too, though. The big guy.
Same here.
The end of the season guy.
We're all guilty.
Pete, when'd you move to Lauderdale?
2000 and, what was it? It was 5 years ago. What is it, 2018?
Really?
It's been a while.
So we actually did, I think we did a year or 2 up there where I'd come into the studio.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that, but yes.
Hey, by the way, it's time to keep it real. Presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. I almost got sidetracked there. We were reminiscing about the old days. We got to get this in. Can Trevor Lawrence get to 5,000 passing yards this season?
Yes, and yes. Yeah.
I said 4,800 in my prediction, but that's in the ballpark. It wouldn't surprise me to see him get 5,000 or 5,100, 5,200.
The record is 5,477 by Peyton Manning in 2013.
That's unreal. That's 16 games he did that in.
Yeah, that's that ain't happening in 16 games.
Just think about that. 16 games.
Drew Brees went over 5,000 5 times. And was just a few yards away from it another time or two.
So that year,
It's only happened 15 times in history, by the way.
Peyton averaged 337 yards a game.
It was amazing.
That's unreal.
And all he would do is come to the line of scrimmage, 2 over here, 1 over here, and just go. They didn't have any pre-snap motion or anything like that. He knew where they were, and he knew what to do, and he knew what you were going to do. That's basically what it was.
God, he was special. I mean, just mentally, between the ears, what he could do.
Yep.
It's it's amazing.
Yes, but he will push 5,000. I don't know if he'll get there, but he's going to push.
But he can. The question was, can he? Yes, absolutely. With this talent around him, with the way that the head coach wants to call the ball game, and a great coordinator in Press Taylor, and ultimately it's Trevor's talent. All day long he can get there. Whether he does or not, I have no idea, but he can. Absolutely.
I was just looking for something real quick. We talk about Peyton Manning. Dan Marino threw for almost 5,100 yards in 1984.
It's amazing, right? 1984.
I mean, my gosh. And nobody else did it until 2008? Yeah.
Probably Drew Brees was the next
84,
one. Right?
84, he threw for over 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'd forgotten about that.
But here's the other. Okay, all the people who've ever thrown for 5,000 yards, there's one outlier.
Who's that, Pete?
Jameis Winston.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Is that
the
year?
Like 30-something interceptions.
30 and 30, right?
30-30. He did 30.
Is that that year?
Yeah, it was 30-30.
Yeah.
30 interceptions, 30 touchdowns.
Mahomes has done it twice. Brees did it 5 times. Herbert did it 2 years ago. That's where he just barely made it. Stafford did it.
Well, it's 17 games. I mean, let's
right.
see.
So
Let's see.
Brady did it with 17 games. Herbert did it in 17 games, and Mahomes did it in 17 games.
So Trevor would have to average just over 294 yards a game to get to 5,000.
Yeah, I think he gets there. Or pushes it. I don't know if it's going to be 49, 48, 40, 50, 5,000.
That's a good point. The extra game changes a whole lot.
Oh, it changes everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 294.
But I mean, if one time somebody asked Marino, "What would you throw for it?" He goes 6,500.
It's true.
Not crazy. Yeah, it's not crazy. There you have it. Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. We'll return with Fanatics fan questions.
Outstanding. Can't
and
wait.
Boy, do we have some doozies today. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Hey, do you know if Mr. Chubby's does to-go wing orders for the game Sunday?
Yes, they do. I did it last year and doing it again this year. You better get your larger wing order in early, though.
I just saw they're doing music bingo during the week.
Yep, we gotta go. Fleming Island Tuesdays, West Side and Ponte Vedra on Wednesday.
Well, I'm ready to chub it up for music bingo and place my wing order then.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Are you ready to elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans? Citrus Distillers, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is excited to announce the 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Now available at Total Wine and other participating retailers. Elevate your tailgate experience, Jaguars fans. The 2023 Jaguars Limited Edition Whiskey Bottle. Duval!
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It's football season and time to take your game to the next level with a Ford F-150 truck. Light up your tailgate with an available Pro Power onboard generator. And with an available 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, you can tow just about anything you need to rule the stadium lot. Ford F-150, part of the F-Series lineup that have been the best-selling pickups for 46 straight years. Get to your local Ford store today. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The 2023 season is awesome. Introducing the Four-Legged Fan Club, the Jaguars' official fan club for pets. Presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital, your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners and a chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up.
I feel like one of my strengths is just the awareness, right? The surroundings, what's around me, and watching people, watching players, the interaction of things. I think is part of what a head coach goes through, But I think that preparation of being a backup quarterback, I think about those days in Green Bay, and you're assisting the starter, and yet you're also preparing it as a starter, and so you're having to know everything, and you're just watching and observing. And I think that really has prepared, me. I think as the years go on, I get better at it, obviously. And but yeah, those years as playing quarterback in this league have definitely prepared me for this opportunity.
Head coach Doug Peterson earlier today. The full press conference on Jaguars.com or Jaguars YouTube. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, the second hour of the program, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco. Cut day tomorrow, 4 o'clock, deadline Tuesday. There's an approaching hurricane. It's the bye weekend before the regular season coming up. Players have to have off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So a lot going on as we build up towards kickoff weekend in a couple weeks.
Well, and with the hurricane, it'll all depend if it's a tropical depression, tropical storm, or a hurricane when it gets here, kind of what you can and cannot do. But if, let's just say they get washed out Wednesday and Thursday, and then they got to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, that's 5 days.
That's
a lot.
Is 5 days.
That's a disadvantage.
Because if it's really a hurricane, they're not going to go into the bubble and practice.
No, because you can't have guys driving down here or anything else. Now, it looks like it's going to be out sometime Thursday, so maybe if it's not too bad and there's not a lot of damage, then maybe you can have guys come in Thursday afternoon,
right? Yeah,
and get some work in.
Adjust the schedule.
What's it look like? When's it look like it's going to hit? If it hits Jacksonville, when it's going to hit?
Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, Wednesday's the long day, I think, Pete.
So they'll get Tuesday in.
Yep.
And then maybe come back Thursday, like you said, Tony.
It just depends how bad the damage is.
And you can't flip it where you'd practice on Friday and then because you got
they have to have those 3 days off.
Weekend.
Yep.
What would you do if Tony during training camp, if you had 3 days off, would you do anything or just relax?
Me? I mean, I had kids. I just hang out at the house and relax and get some rest.
Okay, if you didn't have kids.
Oh, there's no telling. I don't know what I'd do. Oh, I remember.
No, would you go? Would you go? So you wouldn't go anywhere.
You know what? My rookie year, Pete, when I had no kids, I'm pretty sure on the bye week I went out to L.A. went to an SC game.
Ah, yeah. There's that. It is week 1.
So there's a bunch of football games. I might have gone out to a game.
You'll probably see a lot of that. I bet a lot of guys will do that.
You know what? I here's how stupid I was. One year during the bye week, I went to Vegas for a weekend. How dumb is that? I was young and dumb.
That's not getting you a lot of rest, Pete.
No, that was stupid.
I mean, now knowing what I know, 3 days off, I'd been in the backyard, laying by the pool, getting a workout.
Right.
Like probably get like a good hour workout in the morning.
Right.
Move the body around and then do nothing. And
Because
just
Tony, you know
nothing.
this. The older you get,
The
there's
less
no
you want
place
to do.
like home.
No place like home.
Well, it's time for the Fanatics fan questions. Jags fans, gear up at fanatics.com with all the latest Jags styles. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything. We put out the cat signal on X. Here are the best posts we've come up with today. From @Duval Gator, so after watching the first team offense, where do you think the Super Bowl parade will be, downtown or the beaches?
Well, I'll give it to Pete because Pete picked this team to be in the Super Bowl this year. He had,
but I didn't say they would win it. You have to win it to have a parade.
That's true, but it would be downtown if we're
Definitely.
answering that question seriously. Which downtown? A little early.
They go right by the jail.
It's a little early, exactly. It's a little early to start planning for the parade.
Everybody be waiting right by the jail.
Next question @Piso552.
I'm going to stay away from that one.
Me too. 88156. Throughout the preseason, who's been the best and most consistent rookie?
I mean, I think Anton Harrison.
Yeah.
Or Bigsby, one of those two.
Bigsby, right?
I think, Bigsby's been great, but Harrison's playing a more, dare I say, more important position.
They're all important.
Bigsby did less bouncing the other day, which was good.
But it's down to either Harrison or Bigsby, and I'm going to go with the offensive lineman because I'm an offensive lineman.
I'll go with Harrison, too.
Easy enough. @JMcMahon_. Letter grade for the Jags preseason. Pete, you love grading things.
B. The injuries are concerning.
Yeah, I was going to say B+, A- just because of the injuries. Without the injury, A+.
From a playing standpoint, it's an A. No question.
Yeah, I'm with Pete. So probably B+, I give it. Only because of the injuries. You don't like those.
Yeah, it's a pretty good grade.
Yeah.
Not bad. Next question. We're flying through them tonight. Marcus Parsley. Interior O-line too often didn't provide adequate time for Trevor last year. Lawrence's ability to evade and Peterson's play design and calls effectively mitigated the issue. Will it be better, and how much will it be better on the interior O-line?
I don't remember the interior being any I don't remember, and I could be wrong, like whether it was the tackles or guards, one being worse than the other. But I do think they'll be better. I think because Trevor will be better. Trevor will be quicker with the ball because he's more comfortable. We saw that late in the year. So I think that, second year Fortner, Ben Barch.
And Sheriff's healthy.
Sheriff's healthy, and Ben Barch, if he's healthy, going into his third year, I think they're better.
They will be better.
But Pete, I don't remember saying,
I don't remember a jailbreak on every play.
I don't either.
That's the way he portrays that.
I don't either.
Let's go to our next question on social media today. @Nepo Bell. Can Pete get a room in the MEC named after him? Well, this is in reference, by the way, I think, at least, to I was walking around the stadium the other day, pregame. I'm walking through the hallway.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
And it was the Boselli meeting room. And if you're watching on Jaguars.com, there's the tweet there. It's like the old defensive meeting room, which they don't meet over there anymore. They're all in the Miller Electric Center.
Why'd they put that up?
That's the other part of it.
The Boselli?
Did they name that after they left?
Yeah. Yeah, why'd they do it after?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Or was it there all offseason?
It's probably there all offseason. I just haven't walked around. I don't know. know.
But they don't even meet in there anymore.
Yeah, but
what are you naming something that's like? Come on, don't either. That's like naming a boat that sunk after the Boselli boat.
It's pretty good, Pete. That was actually funny. That's really funny. All the signs are still up naming the meeting rooms. I'd never seen the Boselli. Maybe it was something they did this offseason.
Well, maybe it's a game day thing because I think they can take those signs off and change them. So for some reason,
they have
that's
names of the other meeting rooms too.
Yeah,
I didn't see.
Well, there was plaques. I can't remember what they were called.
I don't think they were named after people.
No.
I think you're the only one.
Yeah,
You're the only one.
What happens in that room, I wonder, Pete?
He's also the only Hall of Famer, so of course they're going to do something like that.
What happens in that meeting room, though, I wonder, Pete? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, he should go in that meeting room and learn names for an entire.
Whoa! Hey! The only messed up name today was done by Mr. Prisco.
You had one too, but I didn't.
No, I did not. I have not had one. You have.
You said Vontrell.
Yeah, I
It's
did.
Ventrell.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's not even close.
He put an O instead of
Oh, E. They're both kind of circular letters.
That's how he pronounces it. You didn't know that? I talked to him.
Did you?
No.
So Tony,
Ventrell.
who is the kid from North Carolina? What's his last name?
Vohashik.
Because JP just told you.
No, he didn't. That's how you say it, right?
I think it's Vohasic.
Vohasic.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what
Dominic Hasek, the goalie.
It's not in the pronunciation.
It's not. I'll tell you what. Because the other night we were doing the Detroit game. He made a play, and I went to look for his name of the pronunciation guide. It's not there.
Not on there. Vohasic.
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 Your name's not on the pronunciation.
That's what I said.
guide.
Vohasic.
You said Schick.
No,
didn't you?
Vohasic.
You didn't get it right, Denver. You didn't get it right either.
God.
Yeah, I did. Vohasic.
Go ahead, JP. You say it.
Vohasic.
Vohasic.
Vohasic. You said it 4 different ways.
No, I've not. I said it one way, Pete.
Something wrong with the both of y'all. Let's finish with this one at Pete Prisco. Who would win in a fight? 3 Pete Priscos or 1 Tony Boselli?
3?
Well, this Boselli, you can blow on him. He's going to fall over. I mean,
I'll say this. I mean, 1-on-1 is no question. 2-on-1, I'd wear out 2 Priscos. 3-on-1, because, 1 could be biting at my ankles. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but you got to also remember this. All 3 Priscos will all have a baseball bat, too.
Well, then I'm out. I lose.
He fights dirty.
Oh, yeah.
I can
I'm not coming there.
I could handle
empty-handed.
2, but not 3.
2 with the baseball bats you wouldn't handle.
No. I'm not
Go
sure.
Right for the bad knee and then the hip next, then the shoulder.
Baseball bats, brass knuckles.
By the way, Pete, 1 Prisco with a baseball bat, I'm not sure I'm messing around because 1 shot, if you connect once, it's like
that's got to be a bad feeling to get hit in the skull with a baseball bat.
How about
I never want to feel
the
that.
skull, the knee? How
You
about
might
just
not-
getting a knee shot
You
with
might
the
not
baseball
even
bat?
feel it. That's the thing, Pete.
So
Well, he wouldn't go with that melon. I would.
Okay.
I go down.
Yeah. Listen. Never mind.
What room in the building would be the Pete Prisco meeting room? Like, where could we do that?
Bathroom.
That's what I was thinking.
That bathroom on the end.
Give me-
It's my bathroom. The honorary Pete Prisco bathroom. It should have my name on it. Because
Yeah,
that's the story.
Name
where
the. You could
Kaufman
name
had
the.
it put in.
You could name the media room after it's the Prisco media room.
You know that, Tony? That bathroom when you first walk into the stadium on the left-hand side? You know that one, right? When you're entering to go to the elevator, on the left-hand side,
Yes.
there's a bathroom there.
Yes.
That bathroom was put there. The mirror and everything else was put there because one year I had a crown pop out on me and they had no mirror in there. So I went racing across the hallway and the guard goes, you can't go through here, Pete. I go, I'm going into that bathroom to look in the mirror because I think I just popped off one of my crowns. The next day, Coughlin had a mirror put in that bathroom when we were out on the practice field.
It's the Prisco mirror.
You're talking about the media lobby, like in the stadium?
Yes.
You said? Oh,
Yes.
where there's the one
That
elevator.
was a media room at one point.
That's right.
over there.
That was. That's right. And they've closed it off now. It's
Yep.
different.
I know right what you're talking about.
Yeah. But the Prisco bathroom remains.
Oh, yeah. Put me in the toilet. That's about where I belong.
Thanks for the questions today on X. The posts on X. We appreciate the contributions each and every week. And if you're a Jags fan who's always on the move, we've got the perfect plan for you. With the bundle at the bank, you can purchase tickets to 3 or more games starting at just $58 per game. Get the flexibility you want for your time this fall. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. The second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
The 2023 season is awesome. Introducing the Four-Legged Fan Club, the Jaguars' official fan club for pets. Presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital, your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners and a chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit Jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up.
Jaguars fans, Everbank is building its future on the partnership and the performance you know and trust. Take advantage of high-yield savings solutions with money market, online savings, CDs, and more. Visit everbank.com/Jaguars today for your financial advantage. Everbank, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything. Welcome back. Final moments.
He's another one. I liked where he was at the end of last year, how he came into training camp. He's another one that's going to get a lot of snaps, this year. He's going to be in a, as a number 3, outside rusher. He's going to play. He's going to have to play, and he's going to have to play at a high level. He understands that. So, been pleased where he's at.
Sorry about that, Doug. Doug Peterson discussing Caleb Chazon. Oh, the mic is off for the Hall of Famer. That's probably the best segment of the night.
How about that, Pete? False start by JP.
Yeah,
he jumped the gun.
Yep.
5-yard penalty. Let's do some gassers and up downs as penalty.
Yeah.
He jumped the gun in the last segment too, I thought.
He's not at the top of his game today. I think he's rattled by the Xers coming after him.
By the one tweet.
Yeah. The mean man came after him, and you couldn't handle it.
You couldn't handle it.
You wilted. You melted.
Pete, he could never. He could never handle all the criticism you and I got.
No.
When did y'all get criticism?
I got criticized my whole life.
I mean, look at Pete. He's been criticized since he came out of the womb.
We still are criticizing Pete.
That's why I got the tough exterior. Nobody gives me crap. I give it right back to him tenfold. That's how I learned that early on in life.
That is the truth. It is tenfold.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Silly, when did you get picked on? You walked into the whole building and you were a Hall of Famer. Who picked on you?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No fans ever. You were like the golden child the minute you walked in the building. Nobody picked on you.
Pete, there were I was talking more about growing up in a big family. I got picked on all the time.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying with all brothers and stuff.
The only time, Pete, I don't know if you remember this. My rookie year, it was at the end of the season, and I made some comments about the Gators and how they were overrated. And I was talking about SC, and I didn't really appreciate what that meant in this community at the time. I went after him on the radio because I was so tired. Because JP, you don't appreciate
What year
this.
was this?
This was 95.
Okay. That's when the Gators were really good.
They were really good, and for a lot of the fan base here, they were more popular than the Jags.
Sure.
Until the next year.
But that first year, I mean, everyone loved us. It was packed. But we were kind of the novelty.
It was a new thing in town.
New thing in
this
town.
is
It was a
cool.
shiny object. But the Gators were what everyone talked about, and I got tired of it. And
yeah, you did.
And
I remember that.
I got tired of it, and I think someone said something stupid on the radio. They could beat us or some dumb and I just ripped them, ripped the Gators. And
what did you say?
I can't remember exactly, but I went after them. And we came out for warm-ups, and there were banners, like 2 or 3 banners in the stands saying "Go back to L.A." And now the security made them take them down by the time the game had started. But I'll never forget walking out, and there were banners going after me because I went after the beloved Gators.
Well, they used to call me. Remember, they used to call me Darth Gator when I was doing my show because I used to get on them bad too. They hated it. Remember the riggers of the SEC?
Yeah.
Remember that, JP?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
And then another time, I got after the fans because there was on the back end of like a hurricane or a tropical storm. we played the game, and it was pouring rain the whole second half.
Yep.
And all the club section seats were empty. Everyone was in the clubs.
Right.
Like the rest of the stands were pretty full, and I just went after the fans.
Yep.
And I
You
got
never go after fans.
no. It was bad. It was a bad move by me. Bad move by me.
And I probably took that as gold.
Oh, you just ran with it. So that was another time.
Fans.
And then the other time, I can't remember who. I don't think it was. It might have been you, Pete, who wrote it. I'll never forget. And this is when I knew I was like, golly. It was actually a compliment in one sense. We're playing in '97. Mark had got hurt the week before, and it was Rob's first start up in San Francisco in the preseason. And we're playing, and Chris Dolman, the late Chris Dolman, Hall of Famer, who's the defensive end, and he beat me for a sack in the preseason game. He had a good hump move, sack Rob. By the way, I think it was the only play he made the whole. But he beat me for a sack. It's a Hall of Fame, good player.
Right.
It was preseason, and I'll never forget. We had to we flew back, and so we landed back in Jacksonville like at 6 a.m. And I went right from because this is back when we used to park at the airport.
Yeah.
Like we'd walk through the terminal and everything. So I went and got my car, and me and Brunel and a couple guys went to Waffle House right there.
Oh, at the airport.
At the airport.
Okay.
To get breakfast before we went home.
I've been there a time or two.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I grabbed the paper, the Times-Union, on the front page of the sports section, not the headline, but like one of the column headlines. It says, Boselli gives up sack. And I'll never, we won the game. Offense was prolific. Rob played great. And that was the dang headline in one of the articles. And I'm like,
see, that wouldn't have been me.
It wasn't you. I think it was, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't you, Pete, because you're a smart.
I would have done the story on Rob playing well.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Rob's was the top of the.
Might have been Frank. Yeah. Was it Frank?
I don't know. I don't know who it was.
It was probably Osher. Blame him again.
It was Johnny O.
It was probably Osher, but I'll never forget. I'm like, wait a second. That's what I realized. It was an interesting moment in my career. I remember I'm like, every play, because I never remembered in my life, Pete, that an offensive lineman giving him one sack.
In a preseason game.
In the preseason game.
To a Hall of Famer.
Against the future Hall of Famer was on the front page of the sports section.
See, if I was going to be cruel, I would have ripped you for your performance against John Randall.
That was bad. Bad performance. I would have deserved it. And the funny thing, I'll never forget after that John Randall game, which was my worst game of my career, I remember I was so mad, and there's a longer story, we don't have time right now, but I remember calling my wife after the game because I'm sure I just got tore up on TV. And I go, how bad was it? She goes, no, they said you played great. I'm like, they weren't watching very well. And nobody in the paper, no one said anything. I'm like, okay.
I probably gave you guys a bad grade. Your guys' team was terrible that day.
Well, Pete, we had our third-string quarterback, our Fred played. Leon didn't play. We had like 2 or 3 offensive linemen out. I mean, it was a shell. I remember going in.
It was an ambush.
It was an ambush, and they were very good. And I remember getting ready for that game, and I'm like, Jonathan Quinn was the quarterback. And one of the sacks I gave up 2 ridiculous.
3.
No, 2. Thank you. It was 2, Pete. I remember. He was at 11 yards. I ran John Randall around at 12 yards, and he tipped the ball out of his hand, so it's a fumble. I picked it up, ran 15 yards, got hammered out of bounds.
Yep.
Pete, we'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.
Pete Prisco, CBS Sports, Tony Boselli, Hall of Famer. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew. Thanks to you for listening and watching. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.